And Indiana has done it. Their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship, knocking off the Minnesota Lynx. This is Howard setting up McDonald, knocking down the tray. Finds it cutting McDonald, easy deuce.
You won't believe what the Indiana Fever just did. Their star Caitlin Clark was out. Veteran Dana Bonner walked away, and they were up against the best team in the league. Everyone thought they would lose badly. The Minnesota Lynx, led by MVP favorite Nafisa Collier, were expected to win the Commissioner's Cup easily. But the Fever showed incredible heart and fight. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Natasha Howard stepped up and shocked everyone. This game could change how people see the Fever from now on. And after the game, Caitlin Clark said 6 powerful words that showed how much this win meant. If you support the Fever, drop a comment. I've got the Fever. Let's go! The Indiana Fever walked into the Target Center for their first ever Commissioner's Cup final with a broken roster. Their star, Caitlin Clark, who had carried them all season, was out again with a groin injury, her 3rd straight game on the bench. And this wasn't just any player missing. She was their top scorer, their playmaker, and the reason fans packed arenas all over the country.
Caitlin and her status, just how did she look? How did she feel today during shoot-around? And is she making progress and getting closer to playing?
She's making progress. You know, I think, again, top of mind, I think I told you this afternoon, is just long-term. You know, making sure that we don't have any setbacks. You know, making progress and feeling good are 2 different things. And we want to make sure that she feels good. We want to make sure that she's confident. We want to make sure that we're not putting her in a position to have any setbacks. And that's the priority right now.
But that wasn't the only problem the Fever had. DeWanna Bonner was thousands of miles away, playing in the FIBA AmeriCup, leaving another big gap in their lineup.
Listo. Hey Fever, good luck. I miss you.
Then, there's the DeWanna Bonner situation, which shocked everyone. The Fever brought her in during the off-season for her experience and leadership. But after just 9 games, she walked away from the team and got waived. She quit when her teammates needed her the most.
DeWanna Bonner was brought in for leadership. She was brought in for leadership. And do you want to know all that these young players learned from her? If things don't go your way, refuse to show up. Continue to get paid a max contract while you are sitting out, refusing to play.
She got benched. She couldn't handle it. I want out. She's not playing well. She's getting criticized. I want out.
Now let's talk about who the Fever were up against. The Minnesota Lynx weren't just good, they were dominating the league. With a 14-1 record, they were the best team in the WNBA. They were also the defending Commissioner's Cup champions, playing at home, with MVP frontrunner Nafisa Collier leading the way. The crowd was sold out and fired up, expecting another win. Vegas had Minnesota as 14-point favorites. 14 points. Most people thought Indiana had no chance. Sports analysts were already calling it a blowout, saying the Fever didn't even belong on the same court without their stars.
Flawless, you know, in the way that they're playing. I don't know if different is the word as much as they look even more connected. You know, they're a team that was connected a year ago, but really the nuance of having each other's back on the defensive end, of knowing where your teammate's going to be, you know, discipline to coverages, the connectivity that they have on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, the way that they move with and without the ball, the way that the ball moves makes it really tough to cover. You know, I often say that offense is like a dance, and they are flowing, man. They are making music, and there's no doubt about it. So we have to try to be disruptive, and we have to try to take them out of that rhythm.
This was supposed to be a big moment for the Fever, their first Commissioner's Cup final in team history. But everything seemed to go wrong. Their top players were out, the spotlight was huge, and the pressure was even bigger, Everyone was watching, waiting for them to collapse. It felt like David versus Goliath, except this time, David had a broken slingshot and half his team missing. Now this is where things got really rough. Without Caitlin Clark, the Fever looked like a totally different team. They had lost 3 of their last 5 games before the Commissioner's Cup final, often blowing big leads they should have held onto. Their offense slowed way down, and the flow that made them fun to watch was gone. The ball stopped moving. Players started going one-on-one instead of playing as a team. You could see it happening live, no extra passes, just forced tough shots. It felt like everyone was trying to do it all by themselves. This wasn't the same Fever team that had been exciting fans all season.
Coach, this is your first season with this batch of players, and so I'm just wondering if the Commissioner's Cup is just a stepping stone for greater things to come.
Well, I hope so. But at the same time, we want to take care of business now, right? We want to win a cup. So we're not looking at it necessarily as a stepping stone. We're looking at it as an opportunity to win. And then we're looking at it, as coaches, as an opportunity to continue to stack days. We haven't had a lot of consistency in our lineup, and so we haven't really built that camaraderie and connectedness that we need in order for us to be successful. But we can take another step towards growth, another step towards consistency on the floor, in execution, in energy level. We're playing the best team in the league right now, and we've got to come out and we got to play our A game.
Now let's talk about Aaliyah Boston. She's one of the Fever's biggest weapons, but she wasn't getting the ball where she needed it. Boston is at her best when she gets good touches in the paint, but her teammates weren't feeding her. She'd fight for position, call for the ball, and then watch as the guards took tough shots from the outside instead. You could see the frustration on her face. The whole team looked out of sync without Caitlin Clark. Clark wasn't just scoring and passing, she was the one running the offense, keeping things organized, and making sure everyone was involved. Without her, the team looked lost on both ends. And opposing teams noticed. They started loading up on defense to stop Kelsey Mitchell in Boston, knowing they didn't have to worry about Clark picking them apart.
Or some of the keys that you see as to how exactly you're going to do that, or what you guys need to do to approach the game successfully?
Yeah, I think we've got to be disruptive. We've got to make sure that we play with a level of physicality that doesn't allow them to just pass the ball around where everywhere that they want to pass it. So we've got to make sure that we're disruptive. We got to make sure that we're elite at our on-ball screen defense. This is a team that reads really well, that moves really well. We got to be elite at the point of attack on on-ball screen defense. We've got to. We always talk about guarding our yard, being able to guard one-on-one so we're not in rotation early. I think for us, it's going to have to start on the defensive end of the floor, so that allows us to get out and run in transition as well. But we can't allow them to just do exactly what they want to do on the offensive end.
Anyone else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
This Commissioner's Cup game turned into a true test for the entire team. Could they find a way to win without their best player? Could they bring back the teamwork and ball movement that made them so good earlier in the season? That struggle is exactly what made what happened next so incredible.
Head coach Stephanie White has a motto. She says, pressure is a privilege. You came into the former champion's house and took them down on their home floor. How does it feel to bring Indiana their first championship?
It feels great. We knew that we had to come in here with energy. We know that they're a great team and they were going to go on runs. And so for us, it was about containing those runs and then going on our own.
What happened next will give you chills. The Indiana Fever chose to change the narrative. From the opening tip, you could see it, they had a different look in their eyes. This wasn't the same team that had been stumbling without Clark. They came out with energy, focus, and fire, determined to win one for their injured star.
Gave you the confidence to come in here and take down this team on their home floor?
We knew we were capable. God has equipped us. And so for us, about coming in here and doing what we know what to do. I think the entire game, coach just continued to instill that confidence, continue to tell us take it one possession at a time. And we did that.
The game plan was obviously to wall off the paint against you and Tosh, but both of you guys finished with double-doubles. How did you guys get freed up? And for you especially, how'd you get going late in this game?
I mean, it started with Tosh. Tosh, that entire first half and even that entire game, just really took it to them, made them have to guard. And so with her attacking from different angles, they had to space out a little bit. And that fourth quarter, I was able to score.
And finally, Aaliyah, what are you going to do with your prize money?
That's for me at Bell.
Congratulations, lady.
Kelsey Mitchell stepped up and completely took over when it mattered most. In the first quarter, she attacked the basket with confidence, showing off her scoring skills right away. She moved well without the ball, getting open from beyond the arc and hitting 41% of her threes. Her quick release became a weapon the Lynx couldn't handle. She didn't force shots, she just played her game, and played it at the highest level.
Corrals it out to Cunningham in the corner. Got the three. Indiana on top.